Alright, YouTube, David Harry here, and this is a very preliminary microphone test, and I'm just testing this new NT1 that I've got, and I'm literally just gonna do a bit of talking. It won't be that long, hopefully. I'm gonna test my Cascade V57 against it, and also the X2, or the Stellar X2 Tech Zone. What it is, I don't have any one like suspension cradle which will fit with all the three mics, so I'm going to just hold it in my hand. However, I'm going to be like, you know, not mad or not, and so being held in my hand is not a problem for this particular test. Now what I'm doing here, I'm using the Behringer, the UV1, which I've got to say, it's just proving to be an absolute awesome buy, especially as a USB audio interface. It is friggin' amazing at that. I've not done enough of this, what I'm doing right now, which is analog. However, that's what I am doing right now. So the Behringer is plugged straight into my camcorder, and I'm in bypass mode, so I'm only using the preamp here. So I'm gonna have like the most minimal like junk in the chain going to the camera after the microphone, so literally just the preamp on the Behringer UV1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit more on this, which is obviously the NT1, and also the one thing I will use actually is this metal gauze filter. In my experience, these metal gauze ones are about the best ones for the balance of like the least amount of impact tonally, but giving you a fair bit of plosive protection. However, I do have a loud mouth, and I'm very windy and very PPP. But that's keep making it sound like I want to go to the toilet, right? I think I'm very P-ish. That even sounds worse. I push me peas. That's also, I'm digging a massive hole here. I might as well go and pee in it, mightn't I? Right? Basically, my plosives are a lot, so I'm definitely going to be plosiving. However, hopefully the metal mesh filter is going to be like easing it a bit with it. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'll just do a bit of silence, and then I'll flip over onto my Cascade. Okay, so this is now my Cascade V57, and this is shockingly not a very well-known microphone. It's actually brilliant for a lot of things, this mic. I've done a ton of stuff with this. I think I've done, I did like an entire album with this, all for vocal. A lot of acoustic guitar, and also miking up some stuff as well. We did do certain little bit of guitar, like miking up and whatnot. So this microphone is actually used on a lot of things, like, and I really do like it. But anyway, I just wanted to see what the NT1 was going to be like compared to this, because for me personally, because I have such a sibilant voice and whatnot, and this microphone tends to lean onto the brighter side of things. I don't know if I push the mic too hard with this V57, that is. But the NT1 supposedly is a little bit more leveled out at the frequencies where my like S's and stuff would normally kick in. So hopefully the NT1 kind of like helps me to calms me down a bit. However, this is a great microphone nonetheless. Now what I'm doing here, I'm just going to use the exact same gain, because the gain that I'm using is really safe. I'm looking at it now on the camera, so all the mics are going to be safe going in. And then in post, all I will have done is just re-leveled, no limiting, nothing like that going on. This is just pure in and out, but with re-leveling, just so that no one mic jumps out more than the other. And even in their native like recording level, I think there'll only be about 3 dB maximum between them anyway. Okay, so once again, this is the Cascade V57. Now I'll do a bit of silence on this, and I'll jump over onto the Stellar X2. Okay, so this is now the Stellar X2, or the Tech Zone Stellar X2. And interestingly with this, I've actually used this a fair bit recently, also with the UV1. And I've been getting some amazing results between these two things as well, which has been like really good. I've actually got a new appreciation for this microphone, to be honest. And there's one thing as well about this mic, which I think you can't really understate, and it's its size. If you have a look at those two mics there, the Cascade V57 is like really fat and wide and stuff and all the rest of it. And the the NT1 is a taller mic. In fact, it's a bit fatter than this one as well. This is a very compact microphone, but it does sound great as well. I really do like it. However, I've always wanted an NT1. So this particular test now and a bunch of others I'll do just like one-to-one comparisons. That'll give me a really good idea as to how the X2 stands up against the NT1. Like I say, I've been having a ball with this X2 recently, and it is definitely a microphone that I would thoroughly recommend to people. Especially, you know, for like close micy stuff like this. It does seem to work really well. I'm not entirely sure if just having the metal gauze like popper stopper thing on it right now is enough for the plosives, but I have been using it with a different type of metal pop shield and also its foam filter. Seems fine for that, you know, for the close mic stuff and whatnot. Anyways, what I'll do a bit of silence on this, and then I'll just pop back over onto the NT1 just to round this off. Okay, so back onto the NT1 just to round this thing off. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is pretty much what I've just been doing, but like I said, I'll do one-to-one, so the NT1 against just one mic. I've probably got about 5 good mics that I can test it against, but I think what I'm going to do is use the UV1, the Behringer, use that in USB mode, because it is just absolutely fantastic in USB mode. Just a quick point on this as well. I'm not entirely sure if that Behringer actually is digitally internally, or is digital internally. And what I mean by that is, once the preamp has done its job, I'm wondering if the Behringer turns it into a digital signal, so whether it samples it and does an A to D for its own internal processing, then for the likes of the compressor and whatnot afterwards. And I know that might sound a bit mad, but that is something that happens on certain like effects units. It actually samples it internally and then turns it back from digital to analog on the analog output at the end. However, the reason why I'm suggesting that it might be internally digital is because when it gets to that USB output, it is absolutely just stone dead silent. It's ridiculous. And it's either just got an amazing A to D on it or something like that, or indeed, you know, the entire system is digital once it runs through. And then that's the reason why I'm probably noticing just how quiet it is on the USB output, which effectively is just like running a SPDIF out off something. It's just a digital output. Anyways, yeah, I won't bleat on about that because there'll be more stuff I'm going to do as well with the UV1. Anyways, yeah, so basically what this video will do is just to give me a quick taste as to what the NT1 is going to be like. Like I say, the other two mics there, they're great, and I will use them for different things anyway, even if I didn't use them for dialogue and stuff. And if the NT1 doesn't work out to be the best out of the three of these for dialogue either, this will always have a job to do, recording something and whatnot. The vast majority of what I do is dialogue because it's mostly this YouTube stuff. However, I've always wanted an NT1, and it is definitely a quiet microphone as well. And I don't know if off the back of this test I'll work that out, because the only problem here is obviously I'm going analog out of the UV1 and I'm going into a mic input which is turned right down, which is the camera. Not the most ideal way of doing a gain stage. However, when I do the digital stuff into the computer over USB, I will definitely do some proper serious testing for the noise floors, and I think that might be where the NT1 might kind of like have one over on the other two microphones, but that's still yet to be seen. But if it does, then the NT1 has definitely got a really good kind of like, it's basically got its own place then for certain things where you require the lowest noise floor. Maybe you've got to gain something up and you've got to gain it really loud, in which case you would want the microphone to have a very low noise floor, or you might actually be recording something where there's a massive wide dynamic range that you've got to record, and at points things go silent. In that case, you would definitely want a microphone with a very low noise floor as well. So yeah, again, one-to-one tests with these things, doing it digitally, and then having a good old listen to what's coming out the back end as far as noise is concerned. Anyways, yeah, if anyone's caught this video, it was just a very very, very rough test for me to just get a quick, like, you know, gauge of stuff. But do let me know in the comments what you've thought of these, and if anything kind of jumped out, or if it's all much of a muchness, which it might well be. Anyways, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.